So we're going to learn because women have the breasts,
Ženske imamo prsi,
women have the ovary,
imamo jajčnike,
uterus,
maternico.
ovary and the uterus,
Ja, sem že čudno
and
povedala.
vagina.
Skratka, imamo vagino, jajčnike in maternico. Prosto,
So,
tako nimamo.
now this is it shows that we all these things. So they discover navel,
Sorry. Ja,
So-
skratka,
丹田.
našli so, da se vrnemo zdaj nazaj k našim energetskim središčem, imenuje se trezor energije Tantien oziroma področje tega spodnjega dela trebuha,
So-
kjer imamo svojo moč.
In the Tao said, you beginning from the navel. That's
Skratka,
it, the
Taoizem
beginning.
pravi, da se vse začne iz tega področja.
And you
spodnjega
grow
dela
from
trebuha.
here.
Tudi mi kot otročki tukaj zrastemo.
And the original force is also start on the navel.
Skratka, ta izvorna sila oziroma naša življenjska energija se tudi tukaj iz spodnjega dela trebuha rojeva.
And at the same time, the kidney
Istočasno pa naša ledvica
and the kidney and the ovary,
istočasno pa ledvica v povezavi,
they are together.
v povezavi z jajčniki skupaj ustvarjata to energetsko polje.
When we grow up,
A skratka, ko smo mi še zarodek, so ledvica z jajčniki združena,
it moves.
potem se pa to začne pač, jajčniki se preselijo naprej, ledvica nazaj. Ne, skratka, na začetku je to spojeno.
The kidney move up to connecting with the adrenal,
Skratka, ledvica se potem dvignejo in spojijo z adrenalnimi, nadledvičnimi žlezami.
the ovary attached with the kidney and they separate down and coming down into the uterus.
Skratka, jajčniki se pa spustijo, se pa spustijo in spojijo z maternico.
So they are the same.
Skratka, gre pa za isto energijo. Si predstavljamo, energija, skratka, ta življenjska sila pod pokom se potem gre v ledvica, v maternico, v jajčnike pač, in spoji z adrenalnimi žlezami.
But they have a suction.
Ampak imajo med sabo, povezuje jih pa suction je pa...
They come
kako
from,
prevedla? The suction.
yeah, they come from the same energy.
Skratka, prihajajo iz istega izvora in tudi povezuje jih ta povlek. To je, kakor to so, v bistvu so mišice te organi, ne? In jih isti povlek povezuje.
So now we need to activate this power.
Vidite, torej, če želimo našo življenjsko silo obnoviti, moramo vse te naštete zadeve med sabo povezati in prekrvaviti.
So now we're going to activate this Tantien
Skratka, Tantien se imenuje to energetsko polje,
Until
katerega del je potem vse ostalo.
you feel a suction.
Skratka, zdaj bomo to aktivirali, da boste tudi vi začutili, da dejansko ta del, kako bi rekla, da v bistvu,
Suction.
ja, se vem, ampak hočem v bistvu ta povlek moramo čutiti,
Like pistol.
povezavo.
Suction.
Ja, tako kakor da je v bistvu vakuum, to iščete, to
Vacuum.
besedo iščem, kakor nek vakuum, ne?
Vacuum suction.
Ja.
Okay.
Skratka, ja, ne se jaz fizično vem, ampak hočem prvo pisati, ja, skratka, da med sabo to vibrira tudi, no? To boste začutili.
So we're going to be doing this very simple. Now the whole key is involved with a diaphragm.
Skratka, moramo vedeti, ključ tega, kar bomo počeli, je, mi imamo diafragmo.
Now the whole problem that the lady have is that all these sexual organs are eventually by the gravitation is sucked down.
Moramo vedeti, da na nas ženske, potem ko gravitacija začne prevzeti vodstvo, sta nam vsi naši notranji organi, vključno s temi esencialnimi, gravitirajo, padajo, izgubljajo tonus.
So we need to have this suction activate.
In če jih želimo obnoviti in pomladiti in dvigati, rabimo to pulsiranje, ta vakuum, da jih prekrvavi in dvigne nazaj.
This one of my students give me because they do a lot of research on Qigong practice.
Mnogo raziskav
So with this picture, I started to understand the perineum power.
In v bistvu s to sliko je začel razumeti moč te povezave, tega vakuma.
So we have 4 diaphragms.
Imamo 4 prepone, ne?
One we call a pubic diaphragm,
Imamo to pubično prepono,
and that's in a woman we talk a lot of this pubic diaphragm
se pravi pubična prepona je za ženske zelo pomembna.
because the pubic diaphragm is the floor.
To so naša, to je pač v bistvu tudi naše medenično dno.
Now, when women have baby,
Ko ženske rodimo,
you know, so we call super muscle. The uterus is super muscle.
moramo vedeti, da je naša maternica mišica in da je ta mišica super mišica.
When we haven't had baby, the uterus about this big.
Ko pač nimamo otročka, je maternica majčkana in zelo stisnjena skupaj.
When we have baby, it expands 200, 300 times this big.
Ko smo pa noseča, se pa 200 do 300 krat ta mišica raztegne, poveča.
I tell you, you don't make a back and stretch few hundred times this big.
In je zelo težko
Okay.
potem po porodu, da se taka povečanost spet vrne nazaj v prvotni tonus.
And you have to contain a baby in the water and you can swim.
Can
swim in the water.
Veliko banja z vodo, kjer lahko plava, ne? Naša maternica se spremeni veliko banja z vodo.
So it's a lot.
In to je veliko, ne samo da se raztegne tudi polno vode in še
After we have the baby,
po porodu
your uterus still too big.
ostane maternica še vedno
So now we come into one very important part of the breast.
In zdaj prihajamo do zelo pomembnega dela naših prsi.
Now the breast, I mean the down know many years and they have the practice for that. And the breast,
Da vi ste že par tisoč let poudarjajo pomembnost treninga s prsmi,
especially the nipple.
še posebej s prsnimi bradavičkami.
So the result that if the lady feed the baby milk, they have much lesser chance to have ovary cancer, uterus cancer. Much lesser chance.
Ženske, ki dojijo in dojijo dlje časa, se jim drastično zmanjša možnost raka na maternici ali jajčniki zaradi aktivacije prsnih bradavičk in tega pač
I don't know how many of you remember that. I don't know how many of you remember that.
What remember? Koliko izmed vas se spomne,
That when the baby suck your nipple, suck your breast,
da ko ste pač tiste, ki ste dojile, ko vam je dojenček
Who
stal
have-
neko,
who you have feeling? Where the feeling? What kind of feeling?
ste čutile,
Huh?
ja,
Uterus contracting.
a ste čutile, da se maternica v tem nežno krči?
And after that, what you do? You forgot it.
In kaj se potem zgodi? Potem pa ste najbrž pozabili ta občutek, nekateri ali pa ne.
You forgot it.
Ne? Ponavadi se pozabi ta občutek, da ko se bradavičke, ko se sanja in povezave z maternico.
So this is the key. The down know it many thousand years,
In par tisoč let daoizem to žive, da je to ključ. ta
and they
povezava.
involved with 2 things.
In je povezano z dvema zadevama.
Because when the baby suck the nipple, and some when they have teeth, they bite the nipple. Oh my God!
Oh my God.
And the uterus contract.
Ne?
Ah.
Zaboli.
Okay. Now this one is the mechanical nature built in to make when nipple suck, the uterus contract.
In to je vgrajen sistem v našem telesu, da istočasno, ko se za bradavičko, se dogaja kontrakcija oziroma krčenje maternice.
And they get smaller.
In zaradi tega potem maternica dobiva nazaj svoj tonus oziroma formo.
Now all the doctors said you better feed your baby with.
Zdaj je spet
Breast milk.
popularno, da se doji, ne, ker vmes ni bilo.
That is very good for baby and very good for lady.
Vemo, da je to za otroka zelo pomembno, istočasno pa za mamo, zato ker ji pomaga nazaj skrčiti maternico.
And you know what happened?
Ne veste, kaj se zgodi?
Now another separate research. They say if a lady have uterus orgasm,
In zdaj je pač dokazano, da če ženska doživlja orgazem, ki zajema tudi maternico, ker je lahko tudi samo klitoralni,
they have very, very, very little chance to get uterus and breast cancer.
je izjemno nizka možnost, da dobimo raka maternice ali dojk.
But they say 85% of women never experience that.
Ja, ampak 85% žensk v življenju pač ne izkusi nikdar take vrste orgazma.
And that is the key.
Ta orgazem je pa zelo pomemben.
So now if we activate the suction,
Ampak, če mi sami aktiviramo
and this suction also activate the cranial pump, like it
morate
opens.
vedeti, naš organizem, to sem prehodila s tem, naš organizem je pumpa. A ne,
Now-
ko ena pumpa dela, se tudi druge pumpe aktivirajo, vključno z možgani.
Now the Tao know that. That means in acupuncture, in Chinese medicine, in Tao practice, if we activate the cranial, it have a power, and the perineum, it have the power to sucking all the sick, all the sing organ down, come up.
Taoizem, kitajska medicina, akupunktura vejo, da je treba zgornjo in spodnjo pumpo aktivirati in na ta način dvigneš vse upadle notranje organe.
So all the problem the lady have now is gravitation pull you down,
Največji zdravstveni problemi se nam ženskam zgodijo zaradi tega, ker nam gravitacija poveša naše notranje organe.
and the thing that make women old very fast
In zaradi tega se hitreje staramo.
is the uterus, vagina all sacking down, and gravitation pull all you down.
Ko ženski pade ta maternica in pač vaginalni del, nam to potencira staranje in to se vidi tudi na naših obrazih.
So the uterus sat on the bladder,
Maternica potem, ko pade, pritisne oziroma pade na mehur.
and now what happened? All the small intestine, kidney also sat down and pushing downward.
Skratka, in potem se sesedajo tudi pač tanko črevo, tudi ledvica nimajo več tonusa.
So there are a lot of practice that you need to get because it's all perineum, pubic diaphragm are activated with the cranial diaphragm,
Skratka, moramo
and
vedeti,
all the hormone system are activated.
skratka, mi moramo vedeti, da je ta spodnja pumpa pomembna za aktivacijo hormonov in ko to vse pada, nam cel hormonski sistem pada.
And we're also going to learn the nipple.
Skratka, zato bomo mi ta del dvigovale in povezovale pač z drugimi pumpami.
Now, if you reactivate the nipples,
Mi bomo spet aktivirale tudi prsne bradavičke
and release and contract, squeeze and release, and feel uterus when you get the suction.
in na ta način, ko se bo zgodila ta aktivacija, bomo dobesedno čutile, kako se tudi maternica odziva in pulsira.
And this is the goal in these 2 days if you get it.
In ključ tega je
Future contraction.
v naslednjih 2 dneh, da dobite občutek te kontrakcije.
Now, in a few months, not a years, you get younger.
In to je pač, boste videli, če boste to začutile in potem delale, boste izjemno fizično
Because-
omlajene v parih v kratkem času.
Because the Tao said when the uterus sat down, loose, everything sat down and loose, you get old.
Skratka, Taoizem zelo preprosto pravi, ko se povesi maternica, se organizem postara.
But the Western doctor said, don't worry.
Ampak
Don't worry.
zahodna medicina naša pa reče, nič ne bi skrbeti.
When you get a lot of wrinkle and we can pull your face,
Ja, ko boš dobila bo pač greš na lepotno operacijo.
But the uterus is still sat down.
Lepotna operacija na obrazu, okej, maternica še vedno ostane povešena.
After a year, you get old again. No one, we pull it for you.
Čez eno leto te mora spet zategniti.
Okay, so in the Taoism, we are because the pubic diaphragm here in the uterus is the key. So all this diaphragm,
Jedinično dno, to mišičevje tega dela je ključno
so we need the suction to activate this.
in da ga aktiviramo, potrebujemo to pulsiranje.
Okay, now I show you this film. I like it because they don't understand, they haven't mentioned about how this pubic diaphragm and cranial diaphragm they activate, because in the Tao practice this is the key.
V taoizmu je pomembno, se pravi, ta spodnja pumpa in ta zgornja pumpa, ki je povezana tudi z možgani, žlecami v glavi, da sodelujeta.
Now the goal we're going to look is you really feel your crown opening.
In če naš naš ključ je, da ko bomo
Cranial.
pulsirali ta del, bomo čutili, mislim reči, da rade naše možgane kabriolet, tako da se odpre ta del.
So we've got cranial diaphragm.
A vidite, da se nam v bistvu te lobanske kosti občutek tega razširitve.
And they're always connecting with the pubic diaphragm. But this one they don't show you. But later on they show you the pubic diaphragm.
Skratka, da čutimo, da se ta del poveže z zgornjim delom in da se v bistvu kot da se odpre, kot rožica.
So when you do the, you know, the thoracic diaphragm, the lulling diaphragm,
Skratka, mi imamo tudi tukaj, a ne, to dihalno prepono.
now we all know the thoracic diaphragm.
Tukaj vemo, ko vdihnemo, kako se nam ključna krila razprejo.
When they move, they're like pistol, like suction.
Skratka, povleče kot vakuum je, a ne, ta dihalna prepona.
Now, the most important part is the pubic diaphragm because we sit on it. You know?
In
We sit on
v
it.
medeničnem delu mi sedimo in neprestano ta prepona
Big.
sesedena.
Big muscle. Contract,
Te medenične
expand.
mišice medeničnega dna, ko so velike.
So you feel its expansion, contraction.
In tako kot dihamo z pljuči, a ne, čutimo to širitev, je tudi tukaj obstaja to širjenje in zgoraj.
So if you can feel this pubic diaphragm, 4 diaphragm activate, you are very good health.
Vaše popolno zdravje se zgodi, naše se zgodi takrat, ko čutimo 4 te diafragme, da se na isti prepone, da se na isti način odpirajo, kot se nam odpirajo pljuča, ko globoko dihamo.
And the pubic diaphragm is the floor of the whole body.
Medenično dno je pač temelj celotnega telesa.
So they're linked with the cranial.
Povezan pa je z možgani.
And all the gland system.
In z vsemi centri žlez, ki se nahajajo v glavi.
Okay. And they also very, yeah, go ahead.
So if we have 4, one is, if we have 4 these palms, which are the 4? Can you repeat that?
Okay, we have the
4, ne? A ponovimo.
pubic diaphragm, we sit on it.
Medenična, na njej sedimo.
Thoracic diaphragm,
Aha, se pravi tale trebušna.
lulling diaphragm.
Tale v bistvu, ki je potem preko grla. ne?
We have very special, that way we can speak many different languages, different sounds.
Skozi to prepuno lahko ogromno glasov spuščamo.
And the cranial diaphragm.
In pa potem ta možganska oziroma lobanska.
But the cranial diaphragm only activate when the pubic diaphragm activate because
Skratka, mi ne moremo te zgornje prepone pravilno razširiti, če nam spodnja ne pulsira.
and when the pubic diaphragm and cranial diaphragm activate and the thoracic diaphragm activate, it becomes like suction and they draw the cranial and draw the perineum.
Ko vse 4 delajo in se razširjajo, se potem v telesu dogaja tako kot otroček, ki se s to mleko, to pulsiranje, te povleki, ki dvigujejo vse notranje organe.
And now we can focus.
In zdaj se lahko pač
Because the uterus, the ovary are set on the pubic diaphragm.
predstavljate si, ne, maternica in jajčniki sedijo na medeničnem dnu.
So if I pull the pubic diaphragm up,
Oni ga težijo. In predstavljate si, ko dvignete te organe in ga zbremenite to dno,
through simple breathing.
skozi preprosto dihanje.
And that's happened by a baby always do that.
Dojenčki dihajo na tak način, da dvigujejo svoje organe.
A child always do that.
Otroček ve, kako to naredi.
And when we get older,
Ko pa postanemo starejši
emotional,
in ko postanemo bolj
sitting too
čustveni
long,
in ko predolgo sedimo, ko se ne gibamo,
and everything sat down.
nam vse se začne sesedati.
The diaphragm don't work anymore.
In zato nam prepone nehajo proizvajati pulsiranje.
Okay? So you see here, so now the muscle, the pubic diaphragm,
Oh, thanks. To sem ga prosila, da je na pol obraza.
so the pubic diaphragm and the vagina and the sexual organ are very closely connecting with the face.
Oh, cool, thanks, man. Thanks, man.
That's what her expert, Savina,
Oh, it's a
expert.
cool picture. I need this picture. Will you
I give you.
Yeah. vidite, kako je to kul, no? To je že skozi govorim.
And you see
Vidite,
here,
kako je to povezano.
you see here, the vagina,
Vidite vagino,
the uterus, the ovary are so much involved with the eye muscle, the mouth muscle,
vidite krožne mišice obraza, da labicularis oris oculi, delajo kot krožne usne, česne usne.
and this muscle also, because it's ring muscle,
Ker so krožne mišice, ne? Ker je to, so povezane med sabo, 5 krožnih mišic imamo.
and they're all linked together with all ring muscle in the perineum.
A vidite, ne, tudi ta analna krožna mišica, kako je to povezano.
So
Oh, that's picture.
perineum is a mixture of like rubber and muscle, like
To so mišice pa, kaj bi rekli temu, kako je to sestavljeno? To je tako karadirka, no, tak material.
so they can move up, they can move down.
In lahko se zaradi tega dvignejo ali pa pač povesijo in spuščajo, dvigujejo in spuščajo.
And so all these things, when you activate the vagina,
A vidite, in ko
The
aktiviramo
ovary,
originalne mišice,
uterus, together with
maternico, jajčnike z analnim tem delom,
the pubic diaphragm
s tem pubičnim delom,
and the face muscle,
in ko vključimo zraven obrazne mišice,
so you have a simple movement of this. You have this. So
longo, nekaj lahko. A vidite, pač on se mrč, če se me gre za to malo drugače.
okay, because
Poanta je v tem, da se oboje povleče.
now when you do the pubic diaphragm breathing and you started to squeeze
Veste, gre
The-
za to, da gre kontrakcija mišice
the face
zraven
muscle.
sočasno tukaj in tukaj.
eye muscle, and now is the center, you activate the center we call the crystal room. You activate the center.
Kristalna palača, tiste, ki poznate v obraza, veste, skozi delamo, ne, se potem, ko se spodaj aktivira in zgoraj se kristalna palača, se pravi prebivališče žlez in glave
So
aktivira.
all the gland is inside there.
In vse žleze, vse te pomembne super žleze se nahajajo v
And now they discover that, so we are actually squeeze the muscle, the face muscle, and the mouth muscle. So sometimes you can make the sound together here. And okay, so when you make the muscle, okay,
A vidite, ko dobimo kontrakcijo obraznih mišic skupaj s spodnjimi mišicami, se, kakor da je neka ventilacija potem v žlezah v glavi.
so when you put the eye in, the mouth in, now you squeeze the center of the crystal room.
Mi dejansko stisnemo skupaj, a ne tako bradavičko, to kristalno palačo v glavi.
And the center of the crystal room, you have all the glands inside there.
In tukaj imamo vse te pomembne žleze, epifiza, hipofiza, hipotalamus.
You have the pineal in the back,
Epifiza,
pituitary gland,
hipofiza,
thalamus, hypothalamus.
talamus, hipotalamus.
They're all in the center.
In vse so skupaj v tej kristalni palači.
And also producing the spinal cord fluid, also in the center.
In tukaj se proizvaja tudi hrbtenačna tekočina.
Now they are very emphasized in this, what we call by hippocampus.
Se pravi, to je hipokampus.
They're in the center.
To je vse v centru.
And they're very protected.
In to je vse zelo zaščiteno.
And now they know that they are long-term memory. They remember the long-term memory.
Tukaj se nahaja tudi naš dolgoročni spomin.
And usually when we sit too long, the cranial diaphragm don't move, the perineal diaphragm, this center cannot get enough blood to
Skratka,
feed.
in ko mi predolgo sedimo, ko se nas spodnji del, ko se nam te naše diafragme ne premikajo, se nam kristalna palača v glavi suši, zato ker ni prekrvavljena.
The most important part is that they are responsible for the hippocampus is responsible for long-term memory.
Vidite, in ta del je med drugim odločilen tudi za dolgoročni spomin.
And what is long-term memory?
In kaj je to ta dolgoročni spomin?
Your name, your addresses, how your husband, your wife, your mother, your daughter look like, and what they name. This is long-term memory because you use every day. And now they know that this one, they're too protected inside and not enough blood, chi, and we never exercise them.
In mi tega dela, to pač tudi jaz to ponavljam, nikoli ne treniramo, nikoli prenašamo kisika in cirkulacije v ta tako zelo pomemben del telesa.
You know what you get?
In veste, kaj se zgodi, če tega ne treniramo?
We lose the memory.
Zgubimo spomin, ne, takoj demenca.
And you're going to ask, who are you? Look at somebody and say, who are you?
But you know, it's so many people now with dementia. With
Because the
Alzheimer's.
brain gone.
Ja, ker nam možgani dobesedno se izsušijo.
And the key is the cranial and pelvic bone, cranial and pelvic diaphragm don't move and not enough blood to feed them.
In glejte, res je ključ v tem, a ne, da moramo ta del prekrvaviti.
And this is the key now. And they don't know what to do with it because there's no other way to do.
I know.
You cannot, operation cannot do anything.
Ja, tukaj pa ne moč lepo nabrati.
So the first exercise plus the pelvic diaphragm, cranial diaphragm, uterus active, because uterus is connecting with this, the whole uterus.
Kako je to pomembno? Maternica je povezana s tem delom.
So if you can pull up and squeeze the uterus,
In ko zmoramo stiskati, oziroma ostati pulsiranje v maternici, avtomatično pulsira tudi naša predstavna aparata.
now, when you, now the research is that with women can have uterus orgasm,
Zdaj je v bistvu dokazano, da ženske imamo lahko maternične orgazme.
and who to blame? Who to blame that?
Who to blame?
Yeah, blame them.
Aha, kdo jo je kriv za to?
Who to blame?
Pa sem prav povedala.
The husband.
A ja.
Your partner. So they have to learn how to make you have uterus orgasm.
Yeah, this is why we have the workshop for 2 days.
And I tell you, this is the key for men. I tell you, it's so important because if the woman can have this uterus orgasm, the brain started to be get.
Se pravi, so moški krivi, če naši možgani propadajo. The men are responsible.
And men have. So you send your husband. Yes.
Yeah, this is why Mantak did this for men, for us. For
And I
me.
tell you, your husband learn it. It's really, it's too simple.
Glejte, naši moški morajo samo priti.
It's only know and don't know that is the difference.
Mislim, da mora pomagati, da nam možgani ne propadajo.
Now, once you get the uterus orgasm, you feel it. The uterus contract, the brain contract,
Drugačen preparati ali pa
like that, like that.
maternični orgazem.
And you don't believe it. Say, oh my God, because the
Gre za
uterus
mišico, to je toliko večja mišica, zato občutek toliko večji, se to je pač.
and the brain, they are connecting.
In avtomatično možgani tudi pulsirajo.
Now, you also need to be responsible for that.
No, malo smo tudi mi tukaj zadolženi.
What the responsible you have to do.
Kaj moramo mi narediti?
Make sure you practice the uterus contraction and have uterus orgasm.
And to pick a man who knows these things.
You have to do it. Women also have to practice it.
Moramo tudi trenirati mišice.
If you don't practicing it, you cannot feel it easily.
Skratka, če mi nismo v formi, ne moramo občutiti teh krčenj, ne.
If you feel the uterus contract, now you can tell your husband, hey, 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 not right. You have to do it like this.
Če da ne čutimo, a se na maternico odziva, ne lahko rečemo pač svojim moškim, oba levo ali pa desno.
And this is proof. Many, many times now, many times Western proof that if lady,
Medicina je dokazala to.
if lady get the highest, we call the epic center, highest orgasm and
Temu se
ejaculation.
reče peak center, ne, se pravi ta višja, kako se še temu reče ravno, to so te nivoji, ne.
And the Tao also say,
To je zdravilno.
the Tao also say that, but now the West prove that if you have uterus orgasm, this is the ultimate, the highest orgasm.
Stajajo te piki, no, se pravi nivoji orgazma.
It activates the brain,
Fajn je, da je že prvi nivo.
and you have better memory, and the organ are much better, and you have
Dejansko taki orgazmi pomlajujejo možgane.
you have very little chance to get uterus and breast
In
cancer.
istočasno nas zavarujejo pred rakom.
Western doctor said, I give up.
Zahodna medicina se je umaknila od tega.
So what they
je
say?
obupala.
They tell the woman, if you have breast and uterus, you're going to get cancer. That's it.
In zahodna medicina nam reče, ženske, če imate maternico pa prsi, boste dobile raka.
So what do you do if you don't want cancer?
Cut them off.
Cut it off.
In jih pač reče, odreši, pa naš dobila raka.
That's it, finished.
To je najlažje, ne?
I tell you, I 100%, I teach this 30, 40 years, I 100%.
100% je to že 40 let uči.
But men and women have worked together.
Ko moški in ženska začneta skupaj se zdraviti,
But women also have to learn. I don't know if we have time to learn. You also have to learn how to teach the man have prostate gland cancer or prostate gland orgasm.
Mi jih moramo naučiti, kako svojo prostato krčati.
And you can learn how to massage them.
Pa ki še masirajo.
Now in Tao Garden, we take one-to-one. That means you come to a couple and we take you one-to-one, do it.
Look, I took Yorgos to this clinic in your Tao center.
Yeah.
And he said after, sem polala na počiščenje prostate, and he said, I said I will follow you everywhere, but what did you do? This mom,
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, he was on it very close.
No, but we have the whole course of how man make woman ejaculation and how woman massage the prostate gland for the man.
Okay, pa je da en tečaj obstaja, da se naučimo ženske masirati moškim prostato, oni pa nam, da me pač, mi imamo tudi ženske operacije, pa je.
Man only get the prostate gland massage is by doctor.
Skratka, zdravnik je ponavadi edini, ki zmasira prostato našim moškim.
And that is 300 euro.
300 dolarjev stane vam.
And they go in and massage, okay? But women can do that. It's so simple, you know. And the man say, oh my God, you know. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will teach the men this on the course on Wednesday?
No, women have to learn it.
We have to do it.
And women have to massage the testicle of the man. Yeah. So important, massage the testicle.
So you will teach us this too.
Yeah, okay. Let's stand up. Understand it? Now we do. The uterus breathing and ovary breathing.
Okay, se pravi, dihanje za maternico in jajčniki.
You really feel it contracting, expansion.
Skratka, probamo res začutiti, kako se to, pač, kakor da se napihne pa skrči, no?
You know, you have it.
Kot harmonika, ne kot balon.
You have it when you're feeding the baby.
Če nismo niste tega drugače v življenju občutili, ste tiste, ki ste dojile, mene lahko, zdaj ta občutek hočemo približati.
But you forgot it.
Marsikatera izmed nas je že začutila, to pa je pač pozabila.
And you feel good, oh, but after you finish, okay, I said finish. No.
Ne, včasih počutimo med orgazmom in potem mislimo, da je to občutek, ki se konča, ampak ni treba, da se konča.
This is the key practice of women.
To je ključna in najpomembnejša praksa za ženske.
So the first thing, we need to activate the diaphragm.
Se pravi, najprej moramo te prepone.
And they're very simple. If you do it a few times, 3, 6, or 9 times, you get it. I hope so, okay?
Treba je večkrat ponoviti, da dobimo občutek 3, 6 do 9krat, oziroma, če ne boste nič čutili, toliko časa delimo, dokler ne bomo čutili.
And that is depending on how loose your diaphragm.
Mogoče če ne boste čutili, pomeni, da je vaša prepona ohlapna. That is one question, ja. Ne, samo vam vprašala tudi, če imamo menstruacije. She just stopped breastfeeding. She can do this, right? Of course.
You just stop, that's very good.
Zdaj je super čas za to.
You feel it when your baby suck your milk, you have the feeling?
A ste dojila?
Yeah.
Ja.
Now you,
Se pravi, zdaj boš to sam nadaljevala.
very easy.
Še vedno imaš mleko?
You
She
pin your
still
nipple.
has a little bit of milk. Can she do it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
pin your nipple,
Pač malo uščipnemo bradaviček.
but you have to pin it like the baby sucking your milk.
Kot da dojenček pač sesane.
And now we're doing the diaphragm, sucking the pubic diaphragm, thoracic diaphragm, and cranial diaphragm.
Skratka,
And it
vse
drops.
te prepone bomo zdaj
It drops.
aktivirali. Mantak, if one woman has now a period, she cannot suck so hard, right?
You can do it, but you just follow.
Ja, tudi če imate začajno menstruacijo, zdaj se učimo, delamo, jaz sem tudi možno četrti.
We only that some people they complain, oh, after I do this, I get more menstruation.
Nič huda. Aha, okay, very important question. There are women here who doesn't have like uterus or ovaries. This is even more important to practice, right?
Right, but the pubic diaphragm
Diafragmo
and
imamo vsem.
but vagina.
Še vedno imamo vagino. Skratka, če nečesa ni, je še bolj pomembno, da to prekrvavimo.
You have the vagina, you have the clitoris,
Se pravi, imamo klitoris,
you have
vagina,
the
vagina,
lips,
usta vaginalno imamo.
That's all connecting, the clits connecting to all the glands in the system.
V bistvu je klitoris središče živčevja, ki je isto kot hipotalamus, se pravi, in je povezano. Gre za živčevja.
So you can do that.
Skratka, vse lahko to delamo.
Yeah, but the diaphragm will activate the cranial diaphragm.
Ker v vsakem primeru bo prepona spodnja aktivirala zgornjo.
And in the Tao also believe that the energetic of the organ is still there.
Skratka, v Taoizmu verjamejo, da tudi če nam odstranijo fizično en organ, energija ostane. Oni temu rečejo, kot da pisarna ostane, ni pa več uradnika. Se pravi, treba še bolj delati z organom, ki je odstranjen. Tudi če so to prsi, pri katerih, ne, potem še bolj, mislim, to se nam zdi čudno, ampak še bolj vadimo z njimi.
You know, it's too bad that after we have baby, and we just forget it.
Zelo velikrat na te tako pomembne organe pozabimo po tistem ženske, kar rodimo.
And you don't want to have any baby, so okay, that's it.
Sedaj, ko rečemo, ne bomo imeli več otrok, rečemo, ok, te organi kao so delali svoje.
This only for having baby.
Mislimo, da so te organi samo za pač reprodukcijo.
But the Tao said, hey, look, this ovary is your cauldron. Cauldron that making the energy, getting energy.
To je elektrarna, ampak Taoizem pravi, to niso za otroke, to so naše elektrarne, proizvodnja naše energije.
So you have to practice it.
In moramo vzpostavljati pretočnost in kisik v njih, če želimo biti me žive.
So the Tao said, this sexual organ is just a big, the uterus, the ovary, the vagina, the clitoris is an incredible, we say what? Now we say multi-billion-dollar factory.
Skratka,
Incredible.
naše maternice, jajčnike, prsi, to so $1 billion vredne tovarne energije, elektrarne.
And you, after you have 1 or 2 baby, what happened?
Po
We
eni-
shut it down.
Mi kar zapremo tovarne, ne, ko se odločimo, da se ne bomo več.
You try to shut down the multi-million-dollar factory for 5 years, and what happened to all the machine?
Predstavljajte si eno ogromno tovarno, če za 5 let ugasneš vse mašine, ki delajo v njej.
Huh? What happened to all the machine?
Kaj se zgodi z mašinami? Zarjavijo.
Get rust, get mold, get old, get fungus, everything grow.
Vse splesni, zgnije, zapraši se.
So the Tao said, oh my God, you have a multi-billion-dollar factory, keep it.
In Taoizem pravi, come on, ne, imamo toliko vredne elektrarne, vzdržujmo jih, naj mašine delajo.
I believe this. I teach this for 34. This is how the lady can save the lady a lot.
In Mantak to
A
milijon
lot.
procentno verjame, on to uči in to nam ženskam lahko toliko stvari spremeni in povrne zdravje in energijo.
So what you can do? Your daughter,
Kaj je zelo pomembno, da naučimo to svoje hčerke, svoje,
your
pač,
friend, they are still young.
svoje prijateljice, pač
They
novo
should do
generacijo.
this because this is their life. This is their future.
To bi
Because
mogla vsaka deklica se naučiti, ker to je prihodnost za zdravje in za pač
Okay.
življenje.